So now I'm at the mall because just found out that I have to wear closed-toe shoes to the lab tomorrow. So I'm here trying to get a sneakers. So hopefully I get one. Ended up with this. Okay, family, so we are at our private dinner where we're getting to know each other. Yes, it is. And I'm just gonna let everyone introduce themselves quickly.
Erica Lucas here.
Chris Lucas.
Wait, how did I not get that? Y'all had the same last name. I feel like really slow. I feel extremely slow now.
Hey you guys, Ariane, CEO and founder of Look Good, Live Well.
You better promote. Hey.
Shelly and Manicure, CEO and founder of Kiss Kiss Goodnight.
Hey.
Whitney Milligan, BASF.
Future entrepreneur in the making.
Hey.
I'm Alexa Lopez. I'm with her.
Hey, Alexa.
Hi, I'm Anna. I am founder and CEO of Vida Bars.
Hey. So, guys, this is our dinner.
Okay.
And this is Tara, founder of Peculiar Brews. Hi. Okay, I'm gonna ask. Anybody could answer this. Like, what is like the one thing you've learned so far, or the major takeaway from tonight's dinner? I know we've talked about everything, but like, what's your biggest takeaway? Anybody could go.
Just surround yourself with badass women.
Yes.
You'll do anything.
Yes. And that's it.
Surround yourself with good people and allow yourself to be uncomfortable and be stretched so that you know what's possible for you.
Absolutely. They shy. But that's it. I think we all echo the same thing. So we'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll see you guys tomorrow during our tour. Hey family, so today is the first day of our BASF tour, and I'm getting ready to start the day. I'm in your favorite place right now, Starbucks, to get my day started and get some energy. I am super sleepy. We had a long night out, which was amazing. We got to connect and everything, so excited about today. Stay tuned. So we're here at the BASF location in Tarrytown and get ready to start our day. We're having a light breakfast. Right now I just checked in. It's around like 9 a.m. and check in. And I'm gonna go and show you guys like where we're seated outside for our light breakfast. It's just cute. Just get something so we can get our day started. We have a really packed day from 9:30 all the way till 8 p.m. today. So today is where all the magic happens, and I'm super excited to just show you guys some of the behind the scenes. But yeah, this is most of our founders right here. Everybody's kind of like laxed and in comfortable gears. So for breakfast we had like coffee, fruits and bagels and all that good stuff. And then look at them, like all cute all cute and relaxed, and we're just waiting. Stay tuned.
We operate under the Responsible Care Management System. It is integral to how we conduct our business and operate our facilities. We are committed to the safety of our employees, our visitors, and the local community, and we operate in an environmentally responsible manner.
Testing is the Sweet Whisper.
Okay.
And then they have a benchmark, so we want to see how the moisturization comparison.
Okay.
So, but before I put on the product, I wanted to measure her skin before it. So come over here. So the first instrument I'm going to measure is actually I'm going to measure your leg. Okay, so So the first measurement I'm using is a corneometer.
Okay.
That I'm measuring how dry and how dry her skin is. So let me see.
Is there a reason you're doing her leg versus her arms?
I'm sorry?
Is there a reason you're doing her leg versus her arms?
Oh, because there's another study doing her arm.
Okay.
So. Okay, then the second instrument I'm measuring is her pH.
Okay.
And how the pH of her skin is. What's the pH of the skin? Okay, so I'm gonna have you to come over here and sit on this table. I'm gonna use the So I'm applying a certain amount. So all the amount and here is set. So we're applying the same amount of product on each of the testing sites.
Okay.
So we're gonna come right in here into our salon. What I'm gonna ask you to do first is just makeup wipes, just to get any makeup and so the base is a little bit clean because I did read the use instructions. You're supposed to start with a clean dry face. Not a wipe. There is a garbage can next to you.
And I'm gonna set a timer for 10 minutes. So now I'm going to do another product while I'm waiting for this. I'm gonna have you to sit here. So I'm going to start with the scalp product. Can you loosen up your hair?
I'm gonna set a timer for 5 minutes to let it sit. Then you're gonna come over here and you're gonna rinse with water and
So for this product is for the scalp. So that's why that I'm going to.
You're gonna slather it on in a nice even layer and you don't need any more. Yes, I do apologize. We do not have our mirrors up yet. Oh, thank you.
So
Thanks for being my mirror holder.
I have another measurement. This is for the scalp measurement for the moisturization. So.
We're gonna do the minimum just for the sake of time, unfortunately. This should be good, right?
What is that device doing?
This measure the hydration of the scalp. I'm not getting any value of it. Show whether her scalp is really dry or is it my instrument. But I can measure my skin, so it's like very dry. I'm not
Well,
getting
can I have an input?
any reading. Or zero.
So that's not directly her scalp. So that's why she has on like a hair piece.
What's that, I'm sorry?
She has on a hair piece. So that's not her scalp. That's why it's probably not reading.
No, so this is theoretically is this should touching some of the scalp because that's why. So these are two instruments for measuring moisturization. So one of them, you see the pro here, is a flat pro, right? So that will measure the hair. But then this one's actually go around the hair, it's touching the scalp.
Yeah, so what I'm saying is this is not her real scalp. This is a hair piece.
Oh, that's your. Oh, so you did
Yeah,
not. Okay.
she has on a hair
Oh,
piece.
I didn't tell you that.
They didn't tell us that.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe I will do it. No wonder why. I'll do it on the side then. Yeah, I'll do it on the side. Ah, no wonder why. So that makes sense. So. There you go. Oh, okay. Now it makes sense. So my instrument doesn't work.
But that can also be an interesting study because most women also wear hair
They
piece.
have
So
them, yeah. I can just. I'm gonna take a picture of scalp.
that one is the same hydration machine, or
You know, this is more taking a picture
okay,
of the scalp.
of the scalp. Okay. Oh, so that's how it looks.
Okay, so I'm gonna have you to come over here. another 10 minutes. So probably this one, I'll probably look at I'm gonna either come back sit here and getting ready to do the after.
I don't know.
So you felt like they were the same, Shanice?
Yeah, I felt like they were the same. Yeah.
So as a consumer, do you more so like purchase on brand, meaning like if you see a brand that you like or a brand story, versus like you're looking at it, you're like, oh, it's the same thing.
I look at the brand and their story, and also like the reviews, or if like someone recommended me a product or like it worked for them. I kind of like to go on that, because if it worked for someone, then it gives me like, okay, maybe it can work for me.
Makes sense.
So I'm gonna go back to the left too.
Okay.
I hope my last person's not waiting for me.
Yeah.
Okay, and then I'm gonna do this one. Yes, now you're nice and moisturized.
Oh, I see the difference.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, that's why we like these two, because it's a lot nicer for, it's a lot like easier to understand than a graph, and it's like, you know, really nice for marketing. You know, you have one picture that's really not green and one picture that's super green. It's like a nice thing to have.
What there as an A?
Pardon?
No, that's the founder.
And then usually if like we're doing like a moisturizer that had sunk in real well, I wouldn't have to clean between sites, but because the oil's still kind of present, I'm just gonna give my things a quick wipe, just so I'm not transferring.
I heard my name. I want to see. Nice.
That's your right side, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was the picture. I think that's my biggest struggle as a clinical scientist, is just right from left.
The small things.
Yeah. Well, also too, it gets confusing because their right is my
your,
left and vice versa.
It's different.
It's like, okay, I'm gonna go on this side. Thank you. It doesn't like you. I'm sorry, Epsilon, but you're gonna have to bravely forge forward. There we go. You can do it. Yeah, I think this one might be a little oilier, and so it's having a hard time. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I knew you could do it. Sorry, I talk to them. It's weird. But they do have little personalities. Mostly with the inclination to break when you don't want them to break. Shanice, do you want some alcohol wipes just to, or are you
Are we
good?
done with the arms?
Yeah, we're done with the arms. And then I'm gonna.
You've done this before, Shanice?
Like test here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. But for different ingredients, obviously.
Do you want Shakima to hang out in here or in the
Yeah,
waiting
she
room?
can have a seat. I'm almost done.
Okay, I'm gonna make you responsible for your own clipboard. I'm putting you to work for real good.
Oh, thank you.
Did you use my product, girl?
Yeah, I was asking. It's wonderful, very smooth. The lotion.
No.
Oh,
The spray, the hairspray.
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
She couldn't get into myself, so I had to get it on. But yeah, it's very good though.
Good.
Yeah.
I put it on.
Of course you did.
And it smells fantastic.
Right, it smells good.
Amber.
Yeah, I have a good product. This one is yours.
No, I wish I'm not
No, this is Essenace.
Oh, another. Okay.
Oh, I
The
go
one
with
that's
them.
all white.
Perfect, and she's done. She's my last one.
Okay. Hi.
Everyone's using your spray. You're the peculiar roots.
Yes.
Okay. Everyone loves your spray.
Thank
They're
you.
all in there using it up. I said, don't use it.
Yeah, leave some for the test.
At least some for the test. What if, so obviously I'm a small business. So if a small business that we obviously don't have the access to these type of equipments to really test with a consumer or say, hey, let's have 10 people come in and we're going to test.
Yeah.
We're literally probably using it on our own family or friends. What benchmarks can we do as small business from your expertise that we don't have access to these equipments? Like, what are some of the things that we could probably be doing to test our products?
I would say because you don't have any instrument, right? So one thing, probably the best one is probably perception. Like once you go through some of the study, and we're going to show you, some of them will go. You can ask the people when they use the product, what do they feel? And then there's one of the station you're going to see is we do a pairwise comparison. So then you compare one of your product and versus the benchmark product, and then you can have the people to tell you like which one's better, which one they feel better. But bear in mind that for BASF, we don't like to use even BASF people because there's a lot of bias, right?
Yes.
So particularly when you're asking for self-perception,
Yes.
if you ask your family members, oh yeah, that's great, so bear in mind that there's a lot of bias, when you're doing
That makes sense.
doing those studies.
And now when you're doing these tests, are you looking for a specific demographic, race, ethnicity? Like how are you really benchmarking this across all skin types? So we're doing like skincare today. Like, are you going to give results based on ethnicity? Like, okay, this works more better. Or say a lot of us small businesses, we're also gearing products towards a specific demographic, same melanated skin. Like, are you able to do that? And like with our...
So it really for our ingredient, it really depending on what the marketing's target market is. If they said that we are targeting for ethnic skin, so then we run our study. We recruit the people that have ethnic skin, and usually when we run our study, because there's some statistic behind. So we need to run a certain amount of people in order to get a statistical significance.
Okay.
So normally we do not like to run a mixed rate because different skin are different. So then when you have 30 people test and then you have 10, Caucasian, 10 Hispanic, 10 African Americans. So the darker skin. So it's kind of like make the data sometimes really messy. So we normally want to keep the skin type like type 1, type 2, type 3, or even a type 4, type 5. So kind of like have a range, so we usually don't test like across all the people. Unless we're going to run a 50 people study or 100 people.
See, that's very interesting. And that's what the market shows, because when you look at most major brands in the marketplace, their products are not geared towards, say, melanated skin, but they're selling to everyone.
Yeah.
So that's very interesting.
That's what BASF is going to change now. So we have actually Rachel.
Yeah, that's actually what I'm doing.
Is
my
going to
internship
share.
on.
Oh, really?
At the skin. So we're trying to see how our ingredient can be,
Used
how they
across.
perform in at the skin and versus a Caucasian skin. Because like what you said, a lot of our study before is done on a Caucasian skin.
And that's been for years.
For years. So now that we're trying to get more into ethnic skin.
That just blew my mind because you guys are a multi-billion-dollar company. Great for you.
It would be great to talk to you.
Yes,
about,
absolutely.
Your product and,
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I just started yesterday,
Mhm.
so it'd be great to see like your perspective on it.
Mhm.
So hopefully, because I think my project, I'm trying to see like obviously there's a difference in like amount of melanin. in the
Absolutely.
skin, but then like, are there other differences that aren't being taken into account? And then like, do we have to change the methodology of the whole clinical study? So that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I mean, it was shown during this experience today that obviously some of the methodology are not done to African American people.
Yeah.
And we can discuss that later.
Yeah, so we can share our
Yeah,
contact information.
sure, absolutely. It's so cool, Whitney.
I'm almost done. Give me 1 minute.
We just used your product. Yeah, very good. Smells great.
Period. Did you use it? I'm gonna come in there. I'm very invested in right now.
Okay, we're gonna go on to a musical chair.
Musical chair.
Shannon, you are coming from me. I'm gonna move you to Melissa. So you're gonna follow the panelists. You don't follow me. Okay, you follow.
Okay.
Her. I'm gonna stay here. Okay, Melissa. Okay, go to this.
I'm like a little scientist today.
Here, Shannon, you come here. You have to sit here, and then you two stay with her, and then I'll go back to the room.
Okay, thanks, Wendy.
So normally we've done tech, which Tara likes to remind us we need to expand in the time she's right. So this is her first cohort with BASF.
Nice.
Are you going to be doing this? Do you think you'll do another one with beauty or same partnership with BASF? Because I know when people see this video, they're going to be like, how can I join?
Yes. I think we're going to do a debrief afterwards and kind of see, what.
I think you should.
What should be. Yes, your feedback is going to be.
You
guys
should.
have to complete a survey after and tell us what we can do better, what we should consider doing in the future.
Yeah. Well, I know people are going to be asking, girl. They're going to be like, how?
Listen, I loved it.
You're good.
A series of before pictures with this piece of imaging equipment. We're going to then use an exfoliating mask, and then we're going to take some after images to see if we can see any changes in your skin. So let me clean this off for you and wake up the instrument. While I'm doing that, I'll give you guys just a little bit of an idea. So this is, again, what I said, it's an imaging device. It's going to take 2D images. It's going to control positioning and lighting. So there's going to be a series of flashes. You'll see when Shanice is in there, and those flashes are different lighting modalities. Those different lighting modalities allow us to analyze different elements of her skin. So if we wanted to look at color, if we wanted to look at wrinkling, certain modalities are better for those certain things. So that's how that works. By having her sit in the chair and position her chin and her forehead, it's going to control positioning. And you'll see when we do after images, if you come back, that it allows you to try to get them into the same exact position that they were in the before picture. So this way you can really compare after to before. All right. That's it. Okay. So let's close out of here. All right. Okay. Shanice, you're going to take your mask off. You can put your bag down however you like. And you're gonna have a seat right here. If this chair is too high, I do have a lower one because you are a little bit taller. Let's see how it goes. There we go. I don't want to spell your version. Right, okay. Alrighty. So we're just gonna let this think. You hear it, more words, getting ready for you. So when it's time to go, now tell me, when you're gonna twist your body a little bit. You don't wanna twist too much, but you wanna be able to rest your chin comfortably in this little cup. So go ahead, you might wanna move this chair. Yeah. Just feel free to switch it around a little bit until you're comfy. Okay. So you should feel your chin in the cup.
Can this chair go down?
You know what, I have a lower chair.
That one.
Yeah, you can stand up. We'll try this one.
One.
Yeah, but it helps a little bit. Yeah. And very important, you don't want to futz around with the height of these chairs. Unfortunately, it's either the lower one or the higher one, but if you start doing this, you'll never get them back into the same position. So you want to control that much. I thought you were going to be tall for that. So you want to back up a little bit. Don't go too far. You want to feel that your chin's resting in there, and then you want to push your forehead a little forward. You don't want these nubs to hurt, but you want to feel both of them against your forehead like that, okay? So, you're going to close your eyes for me. I'm going to turn off the lights. Nobody get afraid. Okay, it's going to be a series of 5 flashes, so just keep your eyes closed and stay comfy, and here we go. Okay, you can back out. Okay, so we're going to save these pictures, and then we're going to take, okay, you can stay comfy for a second, close this, and then we're also going to take those same, now everyone can see here from the pictures that you get, they look slightly different. This is the different lighting modalities, and depending on what you want to analyze, you would use some pictures. When we do grading, so like if we're visibly looking to see if we can see differences in wrinkle grading, we'll use some of these standard pictures. If you wanted to do something like skin glossiness, you might use this one on the end here. This is a UV setting where this helps you look at bacteria on the skin because it will fluoresce under UV, and that's really important if you're trying to look at like acne or things like that. So we're just gonna let it wake back up again, and then we're gonna get a front view, and then we're gonna get a left view, and then we're gonna go use that mask. After the mask, I have a hairspray for you to try, and then you're done here, Shanice. Not bad for a morning's work. Okay. Yeah, right. Oops. All right. Now let's do. Why does it want to do left view again? Time point. Oh no. Sorry, Shanice. Give me a second. He wants to ghost image on us. We don't want a ghost image. That's for the second time point. Okay. Let's back up. That's how we're going to get you back into position. It's going to bring up a ghost of the image that we just took, and we're going to try to position you right back into it. That's fun. But we'll get there. First, we're going to take this first series of images. Okay, we're going to do from the front. We're going to let it know. We call this T0, or sometimes you'll hear it referred to. You're going to put your chin right back in the cup. And again, you want to feel those two nuts against your forehead, but it should be comfortable, okay? Here come the flashes. Call this T0, call this baseline. This is basically what it means before. And then sometimes if you're doing a long study, okay, you come back on out. You may have a T1, which is 2 weeks after you started using the product, and then you may have something like a T2, which is 4 weeks after you started using the product. So that's how we just keep track of everything. Okay. And then we're going to go over to this way. Now you're probably going to have to just adjust your chair a little bit so you're comfortable. You don't want to be too torqued. Okay. And you're going to see the lights come on in a minute, and then you can put your chin in. And typically when we're doing a study like this, go ahead, chin in comfortably right there, and then you just want to feel, yep, right against your forehead. Perfect. Typically when we're doing a study, a regular clinical study, we're looking at about 30 people. We try not to go below 30 people. And the reason for that is that it helps us to do statistics so that we can really analyze the differences that we see. You go lower than that, you can still run statistics, but they don't necessarily show you anything. Okay, here come the flashes, Shanice. But just for demonstration today, we're gonna look at what we see with these three panelists. Okay, you can back on out. So this is an exfoliating mask. I'm going to scoop it out for you so that you don't have to put your fingers in here. There's a mirror right over there that you can use. So what I understand from the brand owner is that you want to think like you're frosting a cake. You're not really going to rub this in. You're going to put a nice thick layer on, and then you're just going to let it sit for 5 minutes, okay? So I'll let you use the mirror over there.
And this on like my cheeks are like all over.
You're going to put it on your whole face. Yep, your cheeks and your forehead. So it's an exfoliating mask, and it's made for people with sensitive skin, so it's supposed to be gentle. And
so I'm not rubbing it in. So
you're just gonna leave a nice thick layer like frosting a cupcake. So I'll let you do that.
So I'm gonna see the products go on my face.
Yeah, exactly. You'll see. I think it's gonna look pretty white, but so yeah, don't feel that you have to rub it into absorption. You just want to let it sit sort of on the skin, but just get a nice even layer. And then once that's on, I'm going to set a 5-minute timer. You could leave this mask on anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes. I suppose if you wanted more exfoliation, you might leave it on longer, but just for the sake of time today, we're going to leave it on just for 5 minutes.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to switch it around.
You will be the first person. I think it's because people push it all away. We tried to do the other, but not blocked it.
There we go. Nice even layer. All right, so I set your timer. You can drop that right over there, and now you can relax in the chair, wherever you'd like. And once our timer buzzes, then we're going to do the same set of images in the other room to get the after pictures. And then we're going to try a hairspray, and then you're done for the day. Or anything we do.
I always have questions. So when we were doing the another skin clinical trial for the skincare products, we kind of discussed like the inclusivity of like the types of people we're testing the products on. Mm-hmm. And it was said that, majority of the time you guys test Caucasians, mm-hmm. and the products are focused around that. But today I'm seeing a lot of the testers being African American. Is that just for today, or what typically those 30 people look like?
Yeah. Excellent question. So sort of historically with clinical testing, the idea was not that it mattered whether they were all Caucasian or all African American, but that to minimize differences between people, that you would want your whole pool to sort of be whatever it was, the same. So that this way when you were doing your stats, it wouldn't be that somebody had such a different skin type than someone else, that would, sort of throw off your analysis. That thinking has kind of changed, and I've seen it change a lot in the time that I've been in this industry. Now we can do things like, if it's for oily skin, we can take sebum measurements, and then at least we know everybody has a similar skin type. They're all of a certain oily range or a certain dryness range. So we use more clinical criteria like that to build our pool of people who we're testing on. And that's just been sort of an evolution of how clinical testing has gone.
So beyond being like biased, right? To me, I'm not a scientist, but that just doesn't even seem scientifically accurate to just test the same group of people and expect the result to be across the board, knowing that there's so many. So,
which is why I think they've actually evolved into now understanding that, okay, we're looking for, say, and there's always a parameter that we're doing. If it's anti-aging, then we're looking for people with a certain grade of wrinkling, because if we want to hope to improve that wrinkling, then they have to have a certain level. If it's under eye circles, so those types of things. So now we're able to use those clinical parameters to build our testing pool, because of course, it's, you can't just say you're going to test on one group of people and it's going to be applicable to everyone. Of course, I guess, that would apply for anything, as we were talking about adverse events. I forget, was I talking about adverse events with you? Now, all of our things are safety tested before they come to us. However, does occasionally one person in a clinical group experience an adverse event? Absolutely. Is that applicable to everyone who's going to try it? No. But, so there are always going to be little individual differences anyway. But the idea is to really get a testing pool that's appropriate for the product you're testing.
So normally it's not like today, what we're seeing in terms of the subtext.
No, that's not true. Sometimes it is.
Okay.
Absolutely. Again,
because that's where my confusion is coming from, the 30 and what I'm seeing today versus what is been said to be typical 30.
Yeah. Well,
does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, no. Well, and also again, because a lot of the brands that were here today were designed for people with melanated skin.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying.
That's designed for that specifically, then you absolutely want to use.
Okay, so that's why the testers are.
Okay. It's really important when you're doing testing that you have your target consumer.
Absolutely,
your target audience. So that's why, And for me, as the consumer perception, as the consumer scientist, I always would prefer to have a product user. Sometimes, depending on the constraints of the test, I have someone using a moisturizer and I'm asking them how they feel about a moisturizer, and they just typically don't use them. So maybe their opinion is not that great of it because they're not a product user. So ideally, you would like someone, yes, I use moisturizer 4 times a week. So you're always looking for that target consumer that you're testing with.
And what about children then? So we have a baby skincare company, and I don't imagine little ones coming in to test here.
Oh,
so
absolutely.
You do? Okay.
We don't do it personally here. However, this clinical group started at a different location, and when they first started, they did have a baby panel. Okay. So as long as there are parents who are willing to sign the informed consent and do the testing, then
it was okay.
Okay, Janice, come this way. You can adjust the temperature of the water yourself. You basically, you're looking for lukewarm. So you feel free to adjust that to your comfort, and then you're just gonna pat dry, and then we're gonna take those after images. So people will test. I remember being a kid myself, I remember testing vitamins, and some other stuff, but here we don't typically do it.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna shake it well, and you're gonna spray it all onto your roots and onto your hair itself. This can be done wet or dry, okay? So I'm gonna let you do that in the mirror. I want you to pay attention to things like how it smells, how it feels on your scalp, maybe feel your hair afterwards and see if there's any difference or benefits in how you're using your hair.
I have like a piece on, I don't know if you need to still use it.
Well, since we have the brand owner here, is it okay with a piece?
It's for locks and natural hair, but let's try it. I want you to be comfortable, so.
let's give it a go. And then we're just gonna answer a quick questionnaire, and again, it's gonna be your opinion on things like, you know, how it feels, how it smells, those types of attributes that you might wanna, that you experience when you're using a product.
I'm just spraying it all around.
Yeah.
Yeah, just on your roots.
So
on
think of
there.
it like a leave-in conditioner.
Oh, okay, that's interesting.
Leave-in conditioner.
Yeah.
Spray.
You look like our customer. You just keep spraying.
No, it smells nice. It smells like natural, like fresh or something.
Yeah. It's aloe based.
And then you can just leave it on.
Yeah.
And whenever you're ready, you can come right over here. There is a mouse that helps. You're gonna put your first and last name in. Your study ID is 3. And then it's gonna ask you a series of questions. If you need to reuse it or use more to really get a better evaluation, feel free. And just go through it. I'm just gonna grab me a pen.
Do you want to use mine?
Oh no, that's okay.
Okay.
I'm a terrible pen thief and loser. They're always all over the place.
It's like a cute space to do like hair product testing. You're fine.
Let me know if you have any questions.
Thank you.
Well, you didn't see Melissa yet.
So now we're gonna tour the facility. We just finished like all the product testing, and that was super fun, as you guys saw. And now we're gonna tour the facility, so be quiet.
Okay, cool.
Between us, we got a lot of content.
Good.
Yeah, a lot. Yeah, I couldn't record, but.
Peculiar roots. Now this is all consumer perception questionnaire. So we're gonna look at a couple of different things here. And again, this is, you would use a lot more people because people have opinions. Some people are gonna love it, some people are gonna hate it, so that you hope when you ask enough, you know, those kinds of differences start to tease themselves out, and then you can really see how people are perceiving. So overall liking, again, you know, you're gonna see a lot of 67 and 33%, but that's because we only had 3 people. So when you do your percentages, that's how it comes out to be. But for overall liking, it was either liked very much or it was liked moderately. So that's pretty good. Fragrance liking, also you see it was liked extremely and also liked very much. So to me that says the fragrance was definitely positively received. Strength of fragrance. So you see this, it says too little, just about right, too much. This is a very common scale that's used in consumer testing and sensory testing. It's called your just about right scale. And it really lends itself well to something like strength of fragrance, because it can either be too little, and you give them a range. It can be much too little, somewhat too little, just about right, you know, a little too much or a lot too much. So everybody, 100%, all 3 panelists felt that the strength of fragrance was just about right. You can do a lot of fun analysis if you got different results on that, where you can see how much it impacts people's liking. And that's, you know, a little bit further along, but it's a tool that you could use if you were really curious to see how something like fragrance was impacting the liking of your product. Ease of application, again, it was overall considered easy, either extremely easy or very easy. So that's certainly not any kind of issue there. Now these are our performance claims. How we usually substantiate our performance claims is we give the panelists an agreement scale. And you always want to give them a balanced scale. They have the option to disagree, they have the option to agree. Then what we do is we'll pool all those agreed responses And if you get a high enough percentage of people who agree, and it's significant based on your statistics, then you can say, yes, this claim is supported. So you can see 100%, all three of the panelists felt that their hair felt softer after using it. They felt their hair was refreshed, and they also felt that it left behind a pleasant scent.
Period.
Now, as far as making my hair and scalp feel comfortably moisturized, the two panelists definitely did agree with that claim for the 67%. One panelist said neither nor, so she's not included in these results. And typically it's hard to say, a lot of people will ask like, well, what percentage do you need to be significant? It totally depends on your base size. When you're only dealing with 3 people, you would really need all 3 people to say yes, and even then you'd say, maybe I want to ask 3 more or 30 more. But when you start getting into like 67%, if you have enough people, typically you would say that's a significant majority of people. But again, we use stats to confirm that. And then what I think is a lot of fun, and you will see this in some ad campaigns where people will use actual verbatim responses when you ask for open ends. So we did ask if they had any additional comments. Seems natural, light, fresh scent. Great product, love the smell. And this product is amazing, leaves hair feeling soft and smooth, very great scent. So definitely positive feedback. And also good for your purchase intent. That's also something fun to always ask. Would you purchase this if it was available where you normally buy your hair care products? You take it a little bit with a grain of salt, because then if they said, yes, I would, and then I said, well, it's gonna be $25 more. No, I wouldn't. So, sometimes you wanna, frame the question correctly. But as far as this one, if it were available where they normally purchase their products, that they'd be extremely or very happy to buy it. I also wanted to mention, although it's not included in these slides, out of our 3 panelists, one of them does use a coconut oil refresher for their hair. The other 2 were less familiar with a product like this.
So it's a wrap, y'all. We are leaving. Say hello to the Cool Club. Say hello to my cool friends. It's a wrap. Oh Lord.
Oh look.
It's about to rain. I am not my hair. Yes, we are. It's about, we should make it. And it's about to rain, y'all. But bye, BASF. It was amazing. Super impactful. And we'll see y'all later. So now we're at dinner, and we have all the BAS members, the founders, really cool people.
Thank you to all of you founders, because really you guys are the change makers. You guys are the ones moving the needle, and we are just so grateful that we get an opportunity to be just a small part in your entrepreneurial journey. When Chris and I started Stitchcrew 4 years ago, what we really wanted was to support underrepresented founders, women and people of color, because we know how disproportionate the flow, not just of money, but of resources and capital and community goes. And if you talk to any founder that has gone through any of our accelerators, they would tell you that the community goes on. So even though this might feel like the end of a program, it's actually the beginning, because now we're friends and we can call on each other for support, for networks, for introductions, for troubleshooting, anything that we need. So thank you for letting us be a part of it. We also want to thank BASF, Whitney, Kate, Jill, Lily, everyone. Was such an amazing pleasure working with you. We're actually and you can ask our mentors and our investors, we're very selective on who we partner with, because we don't want to be that program that says, oh, we're just doing this to check that box, right? Or we're just doing this to say that we are inclusive. We're very selective on who we partner with, and I think that based on today and based hopefully on what you saw during the last 6 weeks, I think BASF is serious about their commitment. So thank you for letting us be a part of your program. We're very excited to be here. Thank you for literally rolling out the red carpet. What I said today in the video, Whitney, I really meant it. You guys have gone above and beyond. I don't know the pricing of everything that you did today, just in-kind services, but what meant a lot was just the genuine interest from everyone in the lab. Like, I just love seeing all the engineers and all of the people working with the brands. It was amazing to see, and I think there was a genuine interest there. So thank you for letting us be part. And then last but not least, Stitchcrew wouldn't be Stitchcrew if it wasn't for our mentors and our investors. And Brett, now you're stuck with us. You're one of our mentors. So you're totally, especially if we work with indie brands again. But you know, Marie has been a mentor with us since we started, and there's not a demo day, there's not a work office hours that we ask her to just coach our founders that she doesn't say yes, and she has a lot to do, but she always takes the time. And I think that you guys have, this is the kind of mentors that we want to have in our program. And just like Brett taking the time that he did with us during the workshop, and I know you followed up with some of the founders for one-on-one, so thank you for being that kind of mentors. That means a lot. A lot of people think that when we're supporting startups or indie brands, it's all about the capital. It's not. It's about the relationships. So thank you for being our mentors. That's it.
Yay.
And
oops, sorry for the light.
almost at the beginning, kind of Whitney and Marcelo got together and said, this is something we want to make happen. I was like, great, how are we going to do that? Like, we have never done this before. You have the money, how are we going to do it? And Whitney figured it out.
Yeah.
Really by herself. I mean, I was there kind of answering BASF questions, you know, how do we do this or that internally, but she figured it out. She found Erica and Chris. She found resources externally. She really was the engine behind this whole thing, and really the brains behind it too. So just thank you so much, Whitney, because you've created something really beautiful here.
Thank you. Last night I started BASF as a diverse leader in the Diverse Leaders Program, which is an initiative by BASF to support diverse leadership. And so I was recruited specifically for my talent, but also because of my background. So to be able to extend my experience as a Black woman to this opportunity was kind of a ambitious idea, especially internally for BASF. For some people, they're like, no way. Legally, no way. You know, resource, no way. But we definitely, BASF had an ambition to, you know, connect with entrepreneurs and to really understand and to be able to tell the stories like you all have mentioned about where the ingredients come from and why it's important to us. But you know, a lot of you have commented on, you know, the program structure, and thanks so much to Jill and Kate and Marcelo for that. But it's not enough just to say that we have a great structure, but we have great people. Yeah. I never could have imagined how interactive and how like community oriented and how honest and authentic you've been. I was surprised today that you had the guts to challenge BASF.
Who did that? Who did that?
That, you know, this ingredient is not your name, it's rice water. But, you know, having those kind of conversations is really important. And just from the very first meeting when Erica was typing into the chat, you know, emojis and things, like if for an introvert like me, it helped me come out, and I think it helped the group come out and be truly collaborative. So this program couldn't have been what it was without you all. So I mean, like, thanks so much. So we had a full BASF mentor team who helped select you, but thanks so much for just being you and having your role in the personal care industry, because it's important to me as, you know, a consumer, but also to BASF and overall.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so guys, I wanted to totally introduce you guys to Whitney, who literally is the Black girl magic behind this entire program. I don't want to keep her in the spotlight. So Whitney, can you just share like two things? Why you decided to like push for this program, and two, after actually pushing for the program and the program coming to life, like what's like your overall feedback on how this experience has been for you?
I mean, I wanted to start the program because it's important to me as a Black woman to have products that are representative of my needs in my community. And joining BASF, it's a large global chemical company based in Germany. So there was a need to address the gaps that we have in our own understanding about diverse consumer needs, and our own understanding about overall trends in the personal care market. And so I knew that it would be a great way to really connect and anchor what we're doing and something that's meaningful. And since this experience has happened, I mean, I'm just completely surprised. I mean, I was confident that I could draw up a good program, but the response that we received from the applications and then ultimately the top 6 that we chose, I am just astounded. Peculiar Roots, Bees Bayou, Vita Bars. I mean, I'm just so amazed by the ability. All of our founders started their business in the midst of a pandemic and have achieved such great success. And so it's empowering to me to watch and hear, and truly it's been a bi-directional experience where initially I thought BASF was going to be providing all the learnings, but I've taken away a lot of learnings, and I know that this is something that we can't stay silent to, and that we really do have a role and a need to respond to the needs of the personal care industry. And I only would have known that if only because I had this connection through the accelerator. So this has been transformative for me, and I know it will be transformative for BASF.
Yay! How proud of you, 1 to 10?
I am 111% proud. This has just been so great, and I really I owe it all to everyone who's been a part of this. So
well, I want to thank you. I feel like when we even like discovered, like, because you join programs and sometimes you just don't know who's behind it, and there's like always like this collective of like, who's funding this, like, is this just like a charity? And like to hear like a Black woman push for this, I think it just made it 1,000 times more impactful for me, no joke. And like to know that we made you proud, because we're all here now about to be BFFs, but to know that we made you proud and your goal was accomplished, I can't wait to see what you're gonna do, whether it's here at BASF or just like overall. So thank you for being a dope Black woman. Like,
thank you so much.
Period. So that's a wrap. New York is done. Headed home right now. So crazy impactful. Can't wait to unpack this.